Live and in living color. Well, I'm not in color, I'm just an avatar. But welcome. It is episode 163 of The Other Side of the Ball. Glad you're with us. We apologize for coming on the air 3 minutes late. Forgive us. We're human.
Most of us.
And we see a new do with Corey Hammond going very spiky like here on the other side of the ball.
You know, it's funny.
Can I call that retro?
Well, it's going to be funny because there's going to be two appearances, two Corey Hammond appearances on today's show, and I think we can get into that in a little bit. Why that would be funny. I go from most shows not appearing at all to in this show, hypothetically, two versions of me may appear. But welcome.
It's the Hammond verse.
Audience, and what's going on, guys? Other side of the ball time. It's Wednesday. It's that time.
Well,
I'm actually kind of excited. I mean, I wasn't not excited for the top 50, but tonight I think we're going to be giving the A7FL fans of the more Real Housewives of the A7FL type fandom
if you like drama, this is the show for you tonight.
We're going to give them exclusives. No, so this isn't like a Pablo Torre deep dive into anything that's going to expose anything. I think we should probably try to avoid that as people who are promoting the league. But yeah, there was a certain relationship status that was the talk of not only the offseason, but it actually started in the postseason, gentlemen.
Yeah, and the thing about it, before we go into that too far, hold on 2 secs. There it is. Sorry, had to find the interview.
Yeah, and shout outs to the guy we're about to play. Chris and I were able to catch up with our first guest yesterday, which is why you may notice that I look quite a bit different above the eyebrows, which will be interesting. But we had Manny Diaz, former Animals and now current BIC wide receiver. And we caught up with him, Chris and I, to discuss the past, the present, and the future.
I guess you can call this, like Sportsnet used to do, I guess you can call this the Tuesday evening conversation.
Yeah, you definitely could, and it was a very good conversation. My only problem is I'm hoping we can play it for you guys.
Yeah, we'll figure out one way or the other. But the interesting thing is that we got a chance already to talk to Manny, but in the relationship as we discuss it in those terms, the counterpoint, the other party, he's going to join us later tonight. A fan of the show, a avid commenter, and a top 10 performer in the top 50 guys. His former quarterback, Manny Diaz, that is. David Tender joins the show. So big show. We'll see if we can bring it to you. I'm making promises that hopefully the guys can keep. Shout outs. Shout outs in not that he's gone, but distant from our memory. Shout outs to Matt Ryan.
And hello, how are you?
Hello, Elazar.
So I downloaded this, and I'm kind of Dub. Do you see it up in the right-hand corner?
No, I don't see anything.
Okay, so it's on my screen only. So if you go down to recording on the bottom right side, it pops it up. because it's in here under interview. But
Well,
I'm
if you,
trying to see how we play it.
I would think just click on and play it. I
Well,
hope.
hold on. Let me see. Let's see. Let me know. You can hear it. You guys can't see it though, right?
I don't hear anything.
So it's only playing for me. So hold on. I'm going to. Trying to see the best way for us to play this, because obviously when I go full screen, I'm the only one that can see this. When I says embedded and share, download, edit, it is not giving me a way to replay this for you guys, which really kind of sucks.
Well, that's crap.
Right? You should be able, it seems like we should be able to share this, and hold on. Do this. Bear with me. I was trying to do this earlier and it wouldn't let me do a damn thing, and now it looks like it's doing the same thing.
All right, so I'm gonna talk with Dub over you, Chris.
Yeah, go ahead.
Interject where you need to if you need us. But we're definitely gonna get this out here one way or another. If we can't, Chris, Dub, audience, if we can't upload this via this stream live, we'll discuss. Me, Chris, and I will kind of discuss it here, give it some context, and then we could probably post it to the site later as a separate thing.
Hold
Um,
on, hold on. I think I might have gotten a way to do this. Hold on 2 secs.
Here we go, folks. In all of its manliness.
Bear with me. I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah, Chris, I'm just going to keep talking just to fill the air, and then just do it over. And if I see it, then we'll just go right into the interview. But I do want to first say, shout outs to Manny. I know there's animosity that goes back and forth between his former team and, himself kind of like standing up for what he was mentioning in this interview. But he was open with us. We'll be able to play it one way or another, like I said, so people can see his actual words. But, it was really good to talk to him, kind of pick his brain, get an idea of what he was thinking, not only going into the actual decision making, but, some of the things that went into the end of last year's playoff picture and kind of I guess not his decision making because he clarified it for us, but the perception around the league of what was taking place. So I think there was a lot of stuff going on, not a lot of context because we didn't hear from the man himself. And it looks like, as I'm filibustering as best I can, Chris is getting closer and closer to bringing this to you. So, this is just great. This is great pod because we're building up this inevitable crescendo, which will be the actual interview. Hopefully,
The anticipation.
Chris and I did a good enough job bringing you an interesting. We grilled him a little bit. We pressed him a little bit on some things. I think me, Chris, old guy, we disagreed with him in some aspects as well. But it'll be definitely interesting.
Oh, I disagreed with him a lot, but that's just me.
The general
full
premise.
court press?
What's that?
No, I mean, listen, it's basketball season, but me and Chris have the last time we probably did a shuttle back and forth suicide. I don't think we're in enough shape to full court press. We can maybe get in a half court trap.
Yeah, I can't. What do you see on your screen right now?
I see
we got the
countdown
inception.
27 seconds.
It's
27 seconds.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear that?
I can't hear anything.
I don't know if it had any sound until it was live.
Were you hearing that?
I don't hear anything. Can you hear stuff?
No, I stopped it. So now,
before we couldn't.
Do you see interview on the screen with 18 seconds?
Yes, I did.
But you couldn't hear a thing.
Well, sometimes your mic is muted when the countdown goes on. You can tap for sound if you want to, but there's no sound.
Yeah, here we are, the inception in the inception.
So
that's us now. The interview is us now.
Can you turn up the volume from your end, Chris?
Oh no, that's Manny. That's me. That's me with hair and Manny. Yeah, so that's the interview. We just got to get the sound. Let's go.
So the sound isn't coming through.
No.
That's odd.
We're closer and closer, ladies and gentlemen.
Because it shows that it's unmuted and the volume's all the way up.
You just got to integrate it to the live. I don't know
Well,
how.
it shows that I'm sharing my screen. And usually when you share your screen, it'll also, I would have to mute it for it not to.
Maybe look at your audio settings for your microphone, and then, maybe the input you could change it to what that. I don't know.
So you guys can't hear that. See, I pick it up. I hear the whole thing. But you guys can't hear it.
No, I can't hear it.
Hold on, let me see if I can go, because the audio doesn't give me anything. Full screen just gives me the full screen. The picture in picture doesn't. Well, I could do the picture in picture because nope, that doesn't do a damn thing. Gosh dang it, fellas. We got it up. We just can't get the audio. And I don't know where to go to get the audio to play for you guys.
They're trying to air the interview with Manny Diaz that they did yesterday. We just can't get the volume on the shared screen presentation.
Yeah.
Mr. Webster.
Who was asking? And there's nothing that doesn't allow me to download it.
Listen, for those who are rightfully criticizing the issues that we're having, we no longer have the grace and beauty and expertise of Matt Ryan. So we are now hitting you with that half-court press of the personalities, somehow figuring out how to do the tech.
Yeah, the tech is not giving me the volume, and I don't know how to get the volume to work, which is really frustrating. Because I could hear it, but you guys can't. So that's the problem, that I just can't figure it out.
Boo.
Hold on 2 seconds, fellas. Go ahead and keep going. I'm going to see if I've got the video shit, because I downloaded it. I'm going to see if I've got it to where I can share it.
See if you could just reach out real quick to Derek, because he's played highlight clips on, and he accidentally has the audio blasting.
I have played highlight clips too,
yeah,
snips where the volume just comes on.
Yeah, because it's from a different thing. It's not from the StreamYard itself. But anyway, so I mean, as Chris is trying to figure that out, it was definitely an interesting conversation with one of the top players in our league, number 11 on our top 50. And as we wait for Chris to figure it out, to bring it to you,
try to add
John
it to
Webster.
Chris, try to add it to video clips.
Try to add the video to video clips?
The interview, yes.
It just shows me view library. Oh, you mean for my computer?
Yes. Since
it's already in my computer. I already got it downloaded. I'm just seeing how I'm going to play it.
No, what I'm saying is where it has video clips on the right-hand side of your computer screen, where it has the intro, the Mizzle and Dub stuff, the other side of the ball intro video, try to add it to that. Where it says more and says drop or drag file to upload, try to add that.
Hold on 2 secs. The only reason I'm saying hold on 2 secs is because I found it on my laptop. And I'm going to see if I can share that with you guys, because then that should have this sound.
Okay, you can do it that way too.
And listen, we may need it in a couple minutes here to get the thing going. I appreciate those in the audience watching. Give it about 6, 7 minutes, somewhere in that range.
Let me see what I can figure out.
So we'll get there close. Shout outs to eBikeman555. Now I'm doing that for the culture. I'm not doing that for what it says in the comment. And if you want to play a other side of the ball spirits game, and by spirits, if you don't know what spirits are, then you're probably not old enough to enjoy spirits. Hey, listen. Every time you hear that viral number arrangement, maybe take a swig of the spirits. I can definitely throw them in there. I am using my powers as a dad to ruin 6-7 for all of my kids. So just a few more seconds, maybe 6 or 7, for Chris to pull this up.
Chris is trying his damnedest. I'm just trying to figure out how in the hell I'm going to get because I've got it in another window. I'm trying to share my other window with you guys.
And shout outs to John Webster. His comment is sweet, an interview with BIC new star. So I think one of the interesting things that Chris and I talked about, shout outs to David Tender. He's got the app. He's ready to go when we're ready. We're going to try to do the Manny thing, but we maybe can bring him in first.
Hey, just real quick, Dub, what did you say to try again?
Where it says video clips, where you see the countdown, 30 seconds, the Muslim dub thing, the other side of the ball intro.
Oh boy, we got a cookies and milk sighting in the chat, gentlemen.
Where it
Video
says
clip.
more, click on more, where it's under loop.
Shout outs to JR Johnny.
Under media settings.
No.
You're getting a true behind the scenes.
Click on media
Other Side of the
access.
Ball.
It has QR code. It has video clips. Underneath that, it has loop with a question mark. Underneath
Colonel.
loop, you see the countdown, the Mizzle dub thing, the other side of the ball intro. There's a thing that says more. Click on more, and it will show up. Drag or drop a file to upload or add file.
So what you're saying is, if I pick the file and drag it. Shout out to David Hayter, voice of Snake from Metal Gear Solid.
So let me see if I can drag this and drop it in here. It says the file's too large because it's 200 megs. It won't drop.
Oh boy!
Of course
so
it is.
This tech session. This tech
session brought to you by Holy S. I don't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah,
I can't share my screen with you as a norm to just play the effing interview. So my bad for the language, but I'm just a little irritated because I thought with us doing it on StreamYard, we should just be able to pull the StreamYard and play it. What the hell's the big deal?
It seemed like it should be something we could figure out, but oh yes,
because even when I share my,
I like science jokes. Yeah, I got you.
Even when I share this, because look, I share my window with you guys. You see the window over and over and over. So
yeah, we could watch.
Why can't I not play that?
I do anything when I go to my lab. I make potions.
Can you see did it come up with 28 seconds on your screen?
No, it's just showing us while we're recording live.
Yeah, you know my
Great. So it's not showing the friggin' thing yet. So Dub, with me sitting here without it open, on the right side where it starts comments, banners, media, all that.
Yeah.
See recording at the bottom.
It just says recording in progress whenever I click on it.
So
if we were to end this stream, it would have the interview in the recording box.
Yeah, and if you it should still be in there because it's under interview. So mine gives me a little arrow because I've got both of them right here. I can pull up either or.
Well, I don't have it because it just says on my end recording in progress. Ah, there it is. Okay.
You see it now?
Guys, I need to do something.
Yeah.
So now I'm just trying to figure out how to pull that up to play it.
I want to just write.
Try one more time. Say it slower and louder.
Guys, I need to do something. 6, 7.
Do you guys hear anything?
No. And that was the problem I was having. It's there, you have it, but you can't, even under options, it doesn't give you anything to play it.
Hi, Catwalk. I see you.
Say God's plan.
God's plan.
No, God's plan.
God's plan.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Hold on, let me see something here.
Okay, now I'm downloading
Let's
it.
do the bird.
Hold on.
Do the bird.
What bird?
I mean the red bird.
There's red birds.
Here we go. I got it.
And now brought to you by Chris Vera under extreme stress.
Took me a second, but I got it.
All with new BIC wide receiver Manny Diaz.
Finally.
6,
So, folks,
7.
enjoy
6, 7.
the interview with Manny Diaz.
Okay, so live from my back hallway, Chris's green screen, and somewhere in between Silk City and Trenton, we're here with wide receiver Manny Diaz for the other side of the ball exclusive. Wait, did you go to ESPN yet?
Who, me or him?
Manny, did you go to ESPN with this news yet?
Did you tell ESPN what's going on?
For sure.
All right, so maybe it's not as exclusive as we thought. It might have been in a live here and there, but we're here to get the real story. But you see it in the moniker that he put down there, and the Chiron. It says Manny Diaz, WR, and then the letters BIC. Is that the pen sponsor, or tell me about that? What that means, and at the end of the day, what prompted you to make the move that a lot of people are talking about in the A7FL universe?
It was, oh my God, how do I even start this?
So first of all, just
From the heart.
to be clear, you're confirming that you're a wide receiver for the BIC, or is that BIC the pen company?
Nah, yeah, I will be playing with BIC this year.
All right, and so to walk us through kind of that whole process. Let's just start, and we can go a little bit chronologically and kind of paint this picture, because it's really interesting for a lot of people who will pay attention to our league. So let's rewind, like the great Joel Santana and Lil Wayne mixtape song. Check it out, guys. I know you guys are from a younger generation. Let's rewind to semifinal round. Your team at the time, Animals, they get on planes, go to literally a scorching hell of the city of Vegas at the time. You weren't able to make it.
Come play.
You weren't able to make it. Let's just put it out there, clear the air. What was the reason that you did not make it to that semifinal game for the Animals last year against the Insomniacs?
It was, all right, so it was two things. It was, one, my real ID didn't come in on time, so couldn't really travel without it. I didn't know that until a couple of days before I had to leave or whatever. Didn't know that. And second was personal reasons, so.
Okay, so just
That's
yes
why
or no.
I wasn't.
Yes or no, all things being equal, if you could have been there, did you want to be there for your team?
Of course.
Okay, so let's listen. Everybody that plays in this league knows that there's situations, and I don't want you to even go into your personal reasons.
No,
But I think that's the question that is important to ask in a competitive league. If all things being equal, you could be there for your team. You confirm absolutely, right? So let's move on. Next game in the A7FL after that one finished. You were present. You actually did make it. Now, it was a little bit closer, just a drive, not a flight.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of actually current Animals in the building. But the question, I think, for this offseason started, where were you located during that championship game between the Insomniacs and a Jersey team that happened to be BIC, your current team, not your former?
Nah, yeah, I was definitely on the sideline, and there's like everybody's gonna get up on the internet and be like, oh, he didn't want to really play with the Animals. He just wants, to go to BIC, play with BIC, and you know. But it was never that. I just got close bonds with people over there, you know, and obviously like I wouldn't want Vegas to come out here and win it again because that was the first thing. And they did it last year. They came out here, they did what they had to do, and everybody was just like, "Shit, if it's not us,
Isn't,
then why not them?"
isn't the championship in a different state other than New Jersey next year, or this in 2026?
I think that's not confirmed, but it more likely than not is the higher percentage chance that it's not. But like last year, Chris, if it was two Vegas teams, it was going to be in Vegas. So I think that's still up in the air to be technical. And
Well, and I guess what I'm saying, Manny, is I get where you're coming from. I understand it. I'm gonna go off a little bit on my own and ask a question that
sure.
I kind of think needs to be asked, and that is with what went on with you being on the sidelines. And trust me when I say I'm right there with you, man. When I was playing, when there's championship games, I went and watched the championship games, and I was on the sidelines with my boys.
Nah, yeah.
That I knew, right? You can go hang out with them and root them up, and not to mention, it's one of those situations where you're going to root for your home team.
Nah, yeah.
From the away team, and I get that. So if you were over on the Insomniac side, would it have gotten the same fanfare that it's getting with you being over on BIC side? Probably not.
Yeah, nah, not really. Everybody would have just been like, "Oh, you going against BIO? You going against Jersey?" If it was like reverse or whatever, it definitely would have been like, "All right, he was rooting for Vegas." Like, oh well, like nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, it's a no-win situation when you're on the sideline, right?
You know,
but to be clear, at that time, you're still on the Animals roster. You're still Animals. Or was there starting to be some kind of animosity?
Nah. I was still Animals for sure. Like nothing was going to change at all just because I was like on the sideline. Like, nah, hell no.
So then that begs the question then, because then obviously something happened, right? So
exactly, yeah.
The reason I'm going chronologically is to try to make it easier for you to kind of go through it. The last game your team played, you weren't there. Personal reasons. You're confirming you would have been there if you could.
Yeah, 100%.
Your next appearance on screen for the A7 was to support Jersey. You're still an Animal. When did that change and why? You were an Animal. You're now BIC. If it's after the championship, when did that switch occur? And what was the reason that you decided to move on?
It honestly happened a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't really literally right after the championship game. Like I was still in the, I was still talking to Jair and Black and all that stuff on how like we was gonna come out next year, like what we needed to work on, what we need help with. Like I was a part of all those conversations like throughout, even after the championship game. Even after they lost in Vegas, like I still was in contact with them. It wasn't like I was ghosting them or whatever. But my decision just came off of like I said, it was I would say again, it's like behind the scenes, you go through shit with your teammates or whatever, and like it just there's like this situation is like you don't go back from a situation like this with one of your teammates or whatever. So my decision was basically based off like where am I gonna go win? Like honestly, like where's my best chance of winning? Like I know like it may seem like, oh, but Ashanti and KK are over there. Like are you gonna see the ball? Like, but BIC is a pass first offense, regardless of anything. So they pass the ball a lot. So I'm gonna get my touches for sure. I've been in contact with Ken ever since like I did leave, and then ever since like we made it official and stuff like that. So we got big plans for 2026 for sure. Can't wait. I can't hear y'all.
I haven't said anything, Corey. Yeah, and I didn't want to interrupt you. I wanted you to go through and say what you had to before we questioned anything else.
No, I mean it seems like a regularly and relatively normal recruitment with certain events. if it was the NFL, to be clear, Manny, as always, KWAC would be fined for hundreds of thousands of dollars for improper, communication during the non-free agency period. KWAC, how dare you? But
And
tell me,
BIC would have lost a draft pick.
yeah,
It was
they
the
would have
NFL.
lost. They would have lost a lot. It would definitely be a fine for KWAC specifically, right? And I'm never a guy that's coming after anybody's money. I'm just saying that if it were different rules, now that's not the rules. So, what is the recruitment like? Is that a BIC reaching out to Manny Diaz, or is that a Manny Diaz reaching out to BIC?
Kind of both. Like,
It's not kind of both. That's not possible.
it is. 'Cause,
Yeah,
it
right.
is. 'Cause after
Right.
after like after
Well, Manny, hold on. Before you try to explain it, because it can only be one-sided. Did you call or did they call?
they did.
Okay.
So
Well,
they gave
that's
you
what
an
Corey.
opening, and you were going to
Right.
hear the
Well,
pitch.
not
is what it was.
necessarily they, but it was a one person. It wasn't like the whole like.
No.
Well,
We're not saying
no.
the
It
whole
was just
team
one
would reach
person that
out to
reached
you.
out for sure.
It would
and
be
then
one
I've been in
person that
touch,
reach
so,
out.
Yeah, it was definitely
Yeah.
just one person. Yeah, it was definitely.
Yeah. So one person reached out to you and said, "Hey, why don't you come run with us and see what we got?" And from my understanding, and obviously with me being on the West Coast, I didn't always keep up with the East Coast teams. I do now. But my question mark is, so what is it specifically within the BIC organization that is taking you to that team?
It's
What was the selling point in your mind that made you sign the invisible, completely hypothetical and non-existent signature on the contract for BIC? But what made you just flip the page and be like, yeah, I'm making this move? And listen, I've been doing things. I'm in the back hallway. I don't know what it's like in Vegas, Chris, but it's like 20 degrees here. And I'm going no video. Manny, I was trying to do the engaging thing. I'm going no video. I'm over here shivering, holding the phone, and then there's no way that I can prop it up. So just
You guys don't.
babe. Boom.
You don't have any
Roasted.
heat back there
Okay.
in the back hallway?
Listen, the back hallway is a workout on my upper torsois. I don't know what the clinical term is, but it gives my chiropractor work for doing this bullshit. Manny, back to you.
Yeah, it's 63 degrees here right now. So
It's balmy over there for you guys, huh? You guys are windbreakers. Fucking 170. You missed, Manny.
Windbreakers? I don't wear windbreakers.
What?
It's too warm to wear a windbreaker right now.
What is the deciding factor? Manny Diaz, right? Manny Diaz makes the move to BIC. What pushed it over the limit for you? Why do you see that as your best place for next year?
I'm not gonna lie, it's like the relationship we got outside of the football. Like, me and them guys hang out like, every other weekend or every weekend. And like I said, I'm just like, if I was gonna leave a team, a team where we're young and we're upcoming and stuff like that. And if I was gonna leave them, I was gonna go and I was gonna, go to the team that has the best way of winning. Because I'm not gonna hold you guys. I don't really plan on playing A7 for that long. I'm young, but there's other there's other stuff that I would like to do in my life. So, but yeah, it was basically like the bonds that I had outside of football with with those guys, and it's just not only one guy. It's basically half the team. Like half me. Shit, I'm not even from out there. I don't even live in Jersey. I live in PA. So I'm a PA boy. And like I said, it's just they show me respect, And like I said, behind the scenes, shit happens with former teams and stuff like that. I don't have no hatred towards them, but shit happens behind, And I just feel like I can't be a part of that because at the end of the day, it's like a respecting, and I felt like just that, the specifics behind that, nobody respected me, so.
Let's just delve into that without getting too personal, because really it's about the football. But let's be clear. And we'll talk about this in a little bit, but we did a top 50 players in the A7FL. And Chris, correct me if I'm wrong. We had you as the 11th best. We had you, I think, as the third receiver in a list of receivers that had like the widest array of elite guys that we've had. That we were cutting people off when like Darren Palmer. I don't know if you know who that is, but he didn't even make the cut. So we had you as 11. So you obviously had a really great season. It was an impactful season for your team as you set records for single game receptions at one point. You were the go-to guy in the most crucial situations for your quarterback, David Tender, who's considered a rising star in the league. And you really supplanted your position as wide receiver one in a league where, as we talked about in the top 50, it's one of the deepest positions that we have. You were elite on a team that was elite at throwing the ball, right? You would even say too, KP, IG, even my boy Humble Vinny Divine,
Yeah,
right? This was a great passing team.
for sure.
This was a
Well, and the one
contending
thing-
team that made it to the Final Four.
Well, not to mention the
And
one
then
thing
you
that
said, and then
that
you
I
said that there was something kind of, my bad. And then you said that there was something kind of personal. So all that lead up is, why in your head do you leave a situation that's working for you, other than the personal relationship? And what does that personal relationship mean in terms of the football that you're playing for this league? And then, my bad, Chris, I'll actually mute myself so that I'll let you go.
Yeah, I'll
Nah,
go.
so I think
No,
go ahead, Manny, and then I'll ask my question.
I get, it's not like I just didn't feel comfortable in my situation. If I don't feel comfortable, playing the game of football, and again, it's just like we come out here Sundays to have fun, obviously play football, and I want to feel comfortable where I'm at. Like,
Yeah, I tried. So just to kind of just delve deeper, I tried. I can't. I
no,
tried, but I failed.
no.
So the comfort level obviously wasn't from a scheme or a
nah,
productivity standpoint, because you're obviously one of the most productive guys at that position in the league for any team. So what was the uncomfortable nature of the situation? Was it the leadership structure? Was it the teammates? What? Try to just give us,
both of
the
those for
fans
sure.
and the
Both of those
players.
for sure.
It
Both
was
of
what?
those.
So
You literally just
so
said
what?
two of those on the
But
spot.
hold on. So the thing about it is, like, I get where you're coming from when you're saying that, because I was going to ask you my question that I was going to ask you to back up on what Corey was saying was, you're leaving a pass first team to go to a pass first team. So I
Yeah.
get that, right? It would be kind of silly for you to leave a pass first team as the number one wide receiver and go to a run first team,
Nah, yeah.
and be the third receiver on that squad. So that wouldn't make any sense to me. So I get what you're saying with that. Now, when you're talking about what Corey just mentioned, which was leadership
Yeah.
and the being uncomfortable, what part of the leadership, again, without being personal, what part of the leadership was basically the knock that you saw in the animals as to why you wanted to leave?
Yeah, I just feel like there was just like, a lot going on. Like, we weren't like, yeah, half the games that I don't know how it looks from, the outside, but on the sidelines, it wasn't really like like, what's the word? Like, it wasn't really I don't want to say nothing that, but oh man.
Was there let me, and I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I don't really know.
But I want you, well, I want to say it in a way that I think is what you're trying to get at, but there was no real leader on the sidelines for you guys to follow because you did not have a coach per se.
Exactly.
Is that what you're getting at?
Yes.
And so
I just don't
did
want to
that-
say the wrong thing and then get bombed.
To be fair, Chris, the structure of the animals, and Manny, you can correct me when I'm wrong, is that is that the Santistabans do have like more of a ownership-ish manager role. So they're not necessarily titled as coach, but those guys, those guys are kind of the tone setters, at least in,
Nah, yeah,
what
like
happens,
I'm
right?
not
But
saying they don't do their part because that like to a certain extent, like they really do they come up with this and they come up with that or whatever the case may be, and they do good, but I just feel like there's more to it. Like I said, it's just like a whole bunch of it's like a respect thing. Like just that's how I just put it. Like I just feel like sometimes it was just like fuck everything basically and just do what we do. Like it's a whole bunch of just come out here and just do whatever. Like it wasn't like, yeah, we had, like I said, behind the scenes we had a lot of conversations, we worked this out, we talked about this, talked about that, but when it came down to it, it was never like that. It was it was like a different way. So that's where I'm like, on top of just the personal stuff, that's where I say like it lacks OD, and I feel like my decision came based off like, like, yeah, BIC runs their team very well, like, yeah, not everybody be like on the BIC thing, but that's just made my
Now,
decision like
is,
basically easier than
not everybody be on the BIC thing a way of saying that currently on certain Facebook groups, there's people going back and forth with BIC about certain. No, I'm just joking.
Nah.
All right, go ahead, Chris. What were you gonna say?
I want to take this a total different way because I say it, and I'm not going to tongue in cheek it. I'm going to be very honest. And this is a question that I ask a lot of you guys that are playing together right now. When I was playing, and trust me when I say there's a big age gap. All right,
Yeah.
I don't look it, but I'm 54. So playing when I played, we didn't go play for teams that were the strong teams.
Mhm.
We went and played for the weaker teams because we wanted to beat the strong teams. We wanted to prove ourselves that we were good enough to beat those squads. What is it that is taking a Manny Diaz to go play for the team that won the chip last year instead of going to play for a team? And I understand the friendship. Don't get me wrong.
Nah, yeah.
There's a lot of guys that I had friendships with on other squads that I wanted to go blast that ass. So my curiosity is, what is it nowadays that pulls you guys into making these, as Corey put it, super teams to go out and rival one another instead of going to another squad where you came from being the number one and now you could go be the number one for another team?
I don't even. I mean, I could say, just I would say I don't know like what to really say when you actually like what takes me from the animals to go to BIC. Like exclude like extra the friendship.
Yeah,
and
I just want
to be honest, I the players, honestly, if that's because that's the only, I'm not gonna talk down on anything, but basically like I said, the play, the leadership over there, like it's like more to it, like than just friendship. Like the leadership is.
Have you ever played for a championship
In this league or ever?
Yeah.
In this league,
this
It's
league.
my third year.
Okay. Have you ever played for a championship ever? I know you're going to say yes.
Nah, yeah, for sure.
Okay. So from what it sounds like to me is that, and it's not a knock because everybody wants to play for a championship, but it sounds to me like with this being your third year, and like you said, you don't see yourself playing in this league forever.
Yeah, exactly.
You got other things that you want to do. So it sounds to me like if I had to give you an out, which I don't want to do, don't get me wrong, But at the same time, I don't want us to keep harping on the exact same thing. I want to move on to some other questions. But it sounds like to me, one of the decisions that you made and one of the reasons why you are going to play for BIC is that you want to play for a ship.
For sure. Like if it's not now, then when, So I felt like, and part of my decision was like, all right, if I'm going to leave a team where, again, we could be playing for a chip in the next coming years, like if I'm going to leave a team like that, I'm going to a team where I know like there's like a guaranteed chance, like, all right, I will be playing in this, like in the
Okay.
chip. So
that's the answer that I wanted. Let's stop right there for 2 seconds. And I'm gonna throw this out to you. Yeah, it's big speculation, and I understand that. But what if next year, when you're playing for BIC, the Animals wind up playing in the championship?
That's very specific.
yeah. Shit, I wouldn't knock them for it, I'll applaud them. I'm not no hater, Like I'm always like I told you, I don't got no problems with nobody over there. I'm always be, animals for life. Like that's where I started my career here, and I appreciate Black Jair of what they did, like to me when like my time there and stuff like that. But I wouldn't. It'll hurt me because I'm like, damn, like I feel like, I left, y'all made it. Now I'm sitting there watching y'all, but I'll do the same thing I did when they weren't there. If they weren't playing, I'll be right on the sideline, whoever they playing. I'll be on their sideline, or I'll be at the game cheering them on, just like I was doing with BIC.
The only reason why I asked that question, man, is that I try to tell people and players the same thing, and that is the grass isn't always greener. Sometimes you got to water your own side to get that grass to grow, and that's where you need to be able to take that core and make it into a championship core, which I know every team right now in the A7 is trying to do exactly that with the players that they're trying to bring in. So again, I don't down you for doing what you're doing whatsoever. I get it. The what if was just thrown out there because I've literally seen players do that, go to another team. They don't have the same kind of I don't know, I guess you could say cohesion to keep the team going because they've got so many mouths to feed, if you will, on the offensive side of the ball. And it doesn't wind up being a great thing. And teams that aren't as good as they are on paper wind up beating them. And then I've watched guys walk away from a team to watch that team win the championship the following season. So I'm asking that because it is something that you do have to think about and ponder, which I'm sure you've already done.
No, for sure.
But the fact of the matter is, like you said, and I think you said it perfectly, if that's the case, you'll be on their sideline, cheering them on as they try to go for that championship.
Well, and I think that's the risk. That's the risk that you do making any decision. And first of all, thank you again, Manny, for coming on. We're giving we're trying to give you a little hard hitting questions just to answer what
I feel you.
The rest of the league is wondering, because these are basically the questions that we're hearing, and we're appreciating. Just in full disclosure, right after you, we're going to be talking to your quarterback, and we'll see what he has to say about the situation as well. But my last thought is not to harp anymore, because we've done it enough on why you left the Animals. But let's move forward. Let's talk about BIC. And you leave a team where you're clearly the number one option based on the statistical, based on the all the analytical data, and just when you watch a game, it feels like when David Tender's in a rough spot, he looks to you, and that was last year at least his go-to situation under pressure, which he found himself in quite a lot. Let's move forward. Let's fast forward. Sterry Codrington just won the MVP. Kason Campbell just won Offensive Player of the Year, and both set records with ridiculous passing numbers. Not to mention Ashante Worthy just behind you as a backup option this year, hypothetically. Statistically, on a team that obviously knows how to throw the ball. But the question, I think, the last question, I think I'll leave you with, unless Chris wants to go in. I think is what everybody else is thinking and moving forward is where do you fit into the BIC depth chart and hierarchy? And if some of the things I'm hearing from you about the animals are, the kind of for lack of a better way to put it, the lack of respect in your input and kind of how things were going on, whether it was culture or how often you practice, whatever it is, it sounds like you were looking for either more structure or more of an input on how things went down for Silk City as such an important piece. So what makes you feel comfortable that moving into a very crowded wide receiver depth chart, that you're going to be able to get that input or get that structure or get that missing piece, moving from a team that you're, kind of mentioning the other, unrelated things, and now you're entering yourself into a situation where, look, Mark Bagway might be playing. They got Cohen over there still. There's not enough offensive plays for BIC to promise anyone the type of stats that they're used to at another place. What are your thoughts on what your role is, how you see yourself in the depth chart, and if you had the issue with the animals, what makes you think BIC is different?
Well, when I was in when I was talking to the, 2BIC or whatever, I did tell him like I'm not coming here to be a number one. Like I'm not expecting to be a number one. And that's exactly what I told him. Like I get it. Y'all got Worthy, y'all got KK, y'all got Cohen, y'all got Bagway, y'all got Q Bell. Like they got a lot of pieces over there, but they definitely, they told me, well, I wouldn't say they told me, but like they were in need of a deep threat, basically. There's nobody over there that could really go out and, it's just basically straight speed out there. They don't have no jump ball ability receiver. As they say, they don't have one. So that's, where I'm like, all right, besides everything I already said about just joining the team, it's just like, I'm that guy. Y'all need one? I'm here. So it's
So
just
how many jump balls do you think you could get?
no, I mean, I'm not saying they're
How
just
many
gonna throw me
times?
straight jump balls, but
No.
there's different packages
Hold on.
where
I get that, but hold on. I'm not just saying about the jump balls. I was also going to say, I get the speed and taking the top off the defense as well. And I get that as well. But my question mark is, how many deep passes and how many jump balls do you think you're going to be able to get a game? And the other side of that is, at what point do defenses adjust for you going deep to take you away, where you are now in a situation where you basically all you're doing is running deep to dictate coverage, and you're not seeing as many passes as you saw with the animals? Are you going to be okay with that?
100%. I'm trying to win. It's not about like it's not like I play the game because I love it. I don't play the game to go out there and make highlight plays. I don't care about the highlights. I don't care about. I just want to win. I just want to win. So whatever they need me to do, I'm going to do. Even I'm just gonna say this now, but I might be playing a little bit of defense too. So y'all never see me play defense in this league, but I might be playing, a little bit of defense too. So it's not like it's like I'm over there like trying to I wouldn't say beg for time, but I'm gonna get mine, and I'm gonna be happy with whatever. Like I said, it's not.
Hey man, listen, sounds good to me. Listen, we're sorry to grill you. We're sorry to grill you. Now,
No,
what I
it's
did was
cool.
it's interesting though that you kind of mentioned, because we had you as the number 3 in our top 7 wide receivers. The only guys above you were Kason and Siobhan Richardson, a rookie from the Siquidit, who did have
Oh, okay.
more yards than you, catches, but not more
That's a
touchdowns.
Vegas team, right? Vegas team.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
he was balling. You
Yeah.
were balling too. You did have more touchdowns. He did have more yards and catches, whatever. But we had you at 11 in our top 50. Now, what I want to do is leave you with this. I'm going to list you the names in front of you. You're at 11. There's 10 names in front of you. I want to hear where you would slide yourself in front of. If we were wrong, correct us. So I apologize, I'm not on screen, but we had Manny Diaz at 11. Number 10 was David Tender. 9, Scott Hamilton, quarterback in the Insomniacs. 8 was Siobhan Richardson, that wide receiver I mentioned from Sick. 7 was William Carswell, the athlete that played wide receiver and safety for the Insomniacs, the tall guy that hawked down Sterry. 6 is Kenny Mack, the little nightmare center offensive lineman for the Insomniacs. 5, you know well, is Trey Baskerville. 4 was Prime for the Insomniacs, Shannon Allen. 3 is RTC, Insomniacs running back. And then your teammates now, Kason and Sterry. So you're at 11. Where do you slide? Who are you better than?
Whoa. You said in front of me was
Or do you slide, or do you think you stay right where you're right where you should be?
Tender,
Let's give you that
Scott
option too.
Hamilton, Siobhan Richardson, wide receiver, William Carswell, the guy from Insomniacs, tall guy with the dreads, Kenny Mack, lineman, Trey Baskerville, Primetime, the corner for the Insomniacs, running back RTC, Kason, Sterry. You're at
wait,
11.
Primetime was number 4, you said?
Shannon
Yeah.
Allen was 4. He was the defensive player of the year
Wait,
as
really?
well.
I didn't see the awards. I only seen a couple awards. I didn't see but
Yeah, he was defensive player of the year for as a rookie.
hey. Well, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I like my spot. This is only my 3rd year. I like my spot. I'll stay at 11. I don't got no
All
problem
right.
staying at 11.
So you heard it first. It wasn't an exclusive interview with the other side of the ball. So, shout outs to ESPN or whoever else you talked to. But we did hear from Manny Diaz that our list is perfect and should never be changed. We talked a lot, Manny. Do you have any parting words for the audience, as this is your ability to kind of tell your side of the story? What do you want to leave us with as we wrap up the interview?
I just want to tell y'all that I can't wait to see what 2026 holds for not only me but my new team. We obviously, trying to go. Well, I'm trying to win my first one. They're trying to go back to back. I'm not jacking that. I'm not a part of that 2025 championship. I don't do that. But I could definitely say there's going to be a lot of fireworks. People are going to be surprised a lot. So, like I said, y'all just got to stay tuned to 2026 season. Y'all going to see.
What number are you wearing?
I will be wearing number 1.
Number 1.
Yep.
Well,
number 1, because, obviously my teammate got my number. So
yeah, well,
I can't just be
it's
like
not a bad number. Listen, you're not going to like 74 or some shit, right? You know what I mean? Like, so fuck it, you're fine.
Well, wait a minute. What is your number? Out of curiosity, the number you
Mine?
always want to be. Yeah. What's your jersey number you always want to wear if you could?
Oh, 2. That's my number.
Okay.
Yeah, I was never gonna.
That is funny as hell because that was my number for years.
Yeah, that's definitely my number. But right now,
Listen, you're there to win. You're not there for the jersey. So, I mean, look, I didn't win with BIC, but I have a bunch of fucking jerseys. But, it's crazy. The not that this matters to the interview. Well, maybe we cut this out. But the highlight that everybody watches of me playing for BIC, I wore somebody else's jersey. Like, so it's like I should have just wore that one. But yeah, so that's it for this part of the interview. We're so for Chris and Manny and Corey, let's go back to the studio with Corey, Chris, and Dub, or not Dub if he's having technical issues.
Well, that was Manny Diaz
of the Trenton BIC. Special thanks to our special correspondents, Chris and Corey, the C's, for handling that on yesterday,
Monday.
or yes,
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
so it's on
Monday.
Monday. Yep.
Um,
Well,
also,
while we
it was
were,
the Monday evening conversation.
Yes, it was.
yeah,
Yes, it
so
was.
I just went and got the quick cut. Um, and listen, I think there's a lot to talk about with what he said. I think it's interesting reading the comments because when you're asking somebody a question at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is get the answer that is interesting or true or whatever. Manny was kind enough to give us answers to the questions, but according to the chat, I have no idea. I think he was holding back a little bit, so it may be interesting to talk to our next guest and get his side of the and his perspective. But
We
before
really
we
need.
jump in, with our guest, um, Dub, what are your takeaways? As this is the first time you're hearing it, and you're basically in the same boat as a lot of the people in the audience, with fresh ears on the conversation. What are your takeaways to start?
I think it's something deeper, and again, you gentlemen have been in locker rooms, and normally what's in the locker room stays in the locker room, and you don't air that out. You keep it in house. I think there's something more. I think, but I mean, being a part of a team, you keep it in house and you don't leak that out.
Yeah,
Um, but again, there's always two sides to every story,
right.
and
Correct.
now we're about to get the quarterback
Here, let me
side as
before we get the quarterback side, which is very important. Let me just get the joke in, okay?
oh
I,
Lord.
I will say there were a couple. I really appreciate Manny and I respect him as a player for sure. But let's be honest, guys. There was a couple of times I was asking him questions, and I felt like I was asking a Republican congressman about the Epstein files because he spoke right, like he was saying words, but there's no way that you can justify what was going on.
Are you
And
Sorry
saying
about
like
the loud,
based
the
on the
loud
oh
sigh.
wait.
are you saying it was word salad?
What I'm saying is there was a lot of things Manny was saying at times, but he wasn't really answering the question, in my opinion.
So, in
Because I
other
think,
words, he was acting like any other politician. Got it.
all right, fair. We could be fair and balanced. I feel like the most popular news networks have used that as their logo.
Yeah.
Um, Other side of the ball news. But no, but
Flash news.
seriously, I asked him, and I walked it like and walked him down the road, and he agreed with me. You're the number one guy on one of the best passing offenses with one of the best quarterbacks, and you say that you don't have quotes input or whatever. What makes you think going to BIC with the guys that are already there is going and listen, we're going to talk to the quarterback, but I think it was definitely an interesting conversation. It's an interesting decision that he made. And before we let Tender on, Chris, I know as an old school guy, your general consensus on decisions like this, but what is your thoughts on the interview before we hear from David Tender?
I think he held back. I think that he was being PC. I think that, you know, which is fine. I get it. Um,
Which, by the
I
way,
don't.
folks, PC means politically correct for those that don't know.
Yeah, sorry, I'm an old
Yeah,
head,
it's
so
been a
I
while
always
since that
talk
was
that
like
shit
a
and kind of
societal
know it.
norm. PC, right?
Yeah,
That's woke now. So yeah, that's what
yeah.
woke was before it was a bad thing.
And so I look at it as, some people will try to keep things under wraps, and I think Tender did a pretty, or excuse me, not Tender. My bad, man. I'm just sitting here looking at my boy, so I
Nah,
had
you
to say
saw the
it.
future.
My
You
bad.
saw the future. He did a good
Right?
job.
Manny, I think, was trying to keep things civil and not kind of let things out like Dub was saying. So it's not a bad thing. It is what it is. I don't want to be the stir stick and stir shit up. I just wanted to kind of understand the situation. So that's why I had the questions that I had.
All
This is
right.
a popular. This is a popular chat. Shout out to Amari Thomas in the chat, former Watchman running back, current, I'm pretty sure, Animals running back. Dub, go ahead.
Now, before we bring our next break in, we will pause for this brief timeout. We'll be right back.
Yo, he funny, bro.
Major.
And now joining us to tell his side of the story, a man that really needs no introduction, fantastic player. Of course, you heard the great Matt Ryan saying that he is marketable. Well, here he is, the marketable one, joining us live from his studio, the one, the only quarterback of the Silk City Animals, the one, the only, Mr. David Turner. DT, welcome back to the other side of the ball, and thank you for giving us your time on this Wednesday to tell your side. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are y'all boys doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
It looks like you could use the same little touch up for Christmas that I just got, man. Or are you going to do that shaping thing where you're gonna do like that Instagram thing that I see going around.
No, yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting to like a few days before Christmas to get a little
Well,
touch up.
listen. I know you are bound by certain brands based on your marketability on your look. So you better get to it. I mean, Christmas is the prime time for ads. But let's just jump
And
right
I'm
into
so
it.
mad at you too. You haven't accepted my Facebook friendship
You know what's
request.
crazy? After you said that, I was looking.
You
I
better
gotta
now.
just
You better
just
now.
message
You
me
better.
and
Calling
then
you
I'll
out
be able to
now.
see it.
Calling you out now.
So let's just
I
jump right
guess.
into it. David, thanks for jumping in. I saw you in the chat
Oh
commenting
yeah.
actively. You just heard what your former teammates said.
Mhm.
What is your first impression of Manny Diaz's public statement on the timeline, which I think is important,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
The reasoning and the future role. So, what do you think? What do you think going into your opportunity to respond is your first impression of what Manny had to say to us?
Um, a lot of not keeping it. I mean, he could have kept it real, but I guess he wanted to hold back for some reason, or didn't want to say certain stuff. But he definitely lied about some stuff. But we're gonna talk about it.
All right. Well, let's. I think what I did with him to kind of kept it on track was I did it chronologically, right? So, and listen, really the personal stuff is really personal guy's business. But as a player on a team and an important player, he was the obviously the leading receiver. He was the third best statistically and based on our recollection receiver in the league. He's a
Hmm.
really important piece. Um,
Right.
but let's first start with that semifinal game. Listen, we all have stuff going on in our lives. He said he
Yeah.
couldn't make it, and to be clear, I asked him if you could, all things being equal, is that what you wanted to do, and is that what your expectation was that you could do if possible? Is that your understanding of where he was coming from at the time?
No. Like I said, leading up to that game, there was a lot of misinformation on his end. We wasn't informed of the girlfriend situation with her ID. We were told that he didn't have ID. Not only that, we were also informed that he said he was going to go, and then we find out Friday that he said he wasn't going to go the day before we were leaving, or before some of us left. So, like I said, that was just the issue that created an issue between the team, because it was like a lot of misfortune, especially you being the number one target, and a lot of people pushing for you to get to Vegas. It was just a huge match. That's why I was kind of confused on why he just didn't keep it a bean about that. But like I said, it was a different story told to us. And a lot of people in our team chat also are in a mad state right now speaking about it, because like I said, we were all told the same thing about him, and then he came here and told it differently. So Like I said, it's
Well,
just
and listen. I think the specifics of the personal stuff. I mean, you dropped a little nugget in there. I think that's perfect. That was the perfect amount of salaciousness. But basically, long story short, it was kind of a cagey, hard to pin down. Look, this is a guy you trusted on the field. Seemed like when you needed him most, you were looking to see that trust reciprocated, and you were left wanting. Yes or no?
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because
I
listen, because
was
there's plenty to talk about, and I don't want to. The thing is what I want to do is toe the line into getting too detailed with the personal, but I think it's fair for a guy that you expected to show up. He didn't. He gave
right.
you a reason. There seems to be a discrepancy. The fact that there's any discrepancy already goes to the trust or respect or the things that maybe he was even mentioning
Hey,
on his
what's up,
side,
Mizzo? Hmm.
right? So, long story short, that's where we're at semifinals. Now, let's fast forward to the next stage in the chronological timeline. The next appearance for Manny Diaz in the A7FL was on the sidelines for BIC during that championship game, in which yourself, if I'm not mistaken, Trey Baskerville, I of course saw Joker in there, the OG.
Kwani,
Yeah,
KP.
there was an animal contingent, one might say, represented at the championship game in New Jersey. And Manny was not with you guys. He was on the
Hmm.
sideline with his now current
New
team.
team, yeah. Hmm.
In your words, because he told us why he wanted to. He wanted to support New Jersey. He wanted to support those guys, and that's his right, and that is his opinion. That is his story. And
Hmm.
as we know, anyone who's ever written a story, that a story is different than like a factual readout of something. But that's what Manny said. What
Hmm.
say you, David Tender, to the same situation in which you found yourself and your animal teammates at a championship game, looking down, and your view was directly at that sideline, seeing at that point what he says was a current animal wearing black and light blue, to be clear.
Um, like I said, it wasn't just only me that found it, weird or not, like that's your buddy or whatever, but he
Well,
was
did
rocking the
he did
black.
he guys did he tell you guys at all or
No,
have any
no,
correspondence with you
absolutely
leading up to
not.
that time?
It caught all of us off guard, honestly.
Did he know that you guys were going to be there?
I'm not sure. I know we said in the chat, like a few of us that were going. Joker was telling us that he had like a little suite or whatever. He was inviting us and stuff. So I'm not sure if he seen it or not. But yeah, it
Was there
caught a
was there
lot. It
any
You
caught.
guys,
correspondence?
so hold
Was
on,
there
hold on. You guys didn't have plans to go there as a team or bring people together and go there as a squad prior.
No, so like I said, Joker threw it in the chat. Like, hey, I got a suite. If you guys want to pop out, whoever available, pop out. So like I said, it was a few of us that was available. So we all came up, or whatever, and we just came to watch some good football.
so
But
so one might assume that it was kind of an impromptu appearance from the animals and you know let just a coincidence maybe that hey the number one target on your offense, the leading yard getter other than yourself was wearing black and light blue, and he
yeah,
was
it
giving,
was.
and to be clear, shout outs to Mr. Franklin, a upstanding referee. He was giving out water bottles, so listen, he was doing his part. Okay, so what Manny told us, and you heard it, was after that game he was still an animal. He
Hold
was
on, I don't mean
supporting
I
New
don't mean to
Jersey.
cut y'all off. I don't mean to cut y'all.
No,
Hey, K Wack. Hey,
fill
K
us
Wack.
in.
K Wack. No, no. Look, bro. I got a lot of brothers, but one thing I don't do is I don't do. We don't do that. We don't dress up in any colors, and we don't be on the sideline running down the sideline with them. That's one thing we don't do, brother. I don't know how y'all run things, especially we ain't beat them. Especially we ain't beat them boys. Feel me? That's just me though. But go ahead, y'all. Y'all go ahead,
No, no, no.
man.
Listen. I think that is 100% a fair response to the comment. And shout outs to KWAC, a great fan. And I also, in the interview, you heard, I assigned him a hypothetical fine as well. KWAC, there was probably some tampering going on. Let's be honest. Okay. Um, but it K-Wack can support his teammate. That's his right. David, you don't have to respond to somebody not thinking, just at least at a minimum. It's a little bit weird if you're an active player for a team and you're on another team's sideline in their colors. Now, we're moving on from then. Unless, do you have anything else to say? Was there any interaction between you and Manny during that? I mean, this is your number one target. I've played quarterback before. I'm friends with
No,
all of my former number ones. You
no
guys didn't talk at all at
interaction.
the championship.
I mean, I can't recall. Probably after the game, but I know when the game was starting, we was all up there. He definitely didn't come up there. From my remember, like I said, I don't remember fully, but I don't remember him coming up
Yeah.
there
Okay,
and
so let's
speaking
let's
to
give
us.
him the benefit of the doubt in that situation. Maybe it was an impromptu show up from Joker just getting the sweet animals riding in deep.
Oh, no. He was
Obviously, you
going
guys.
there. He was already going to be there. It was
Yeah,
no
yeah, and that's what I'm
question.
saying. And Manny was already like that was his plan. He didn't know the animals were going to be there also. So it is what it is. But the next step in this conversation, in this process of Manny switching teams, he says is in the offseason now after that situation. Dub. No, I'm sure. After that situation, he then decides, and to kind of paraphrase him, you heard the same interview. He wanted to go
Mhm.
to the place where he felt that he could air quotes, best win, and B, he was even willing to take a lesser role and play defense to just be a part of a team where he thought that there would be better opportunity at, and I quote, when I said leadership and structure or something to that effect, he said, yeah, those, definitely those.
Okay,
So
now
that
Um,
those
DT.
were his reasons on why he left. From your
Now,
understanding, which is just your side of it, what do you remember being the reasons that he was giving or he was communicating for leaving and going to BIC?
well, to be honest, he didn't want to tell y'all, but the situation was between me and him. Uh, Like I said, there was some stuff that he went live on, and he spoke about our team, and I didn't appreciate that, so I got on live and I came at him about it, and it became a personal conversation between me and him, and that kind of poked a hole in the team between me and him, but not the team, because like I said, the team is completely fine. That's everybody, we're a family, we're good. Like I said, it poked a hole in the team, especially when you go live talking about stuff that we need to fix and stuff. So like I said, it just caused a problem between me and him. And even after that, like I said, I didn't want to apologize, but I apologized for the sake of the team. And Jair and them talked to him that Jair and them still wanted to keep him on the team, and eventually he wanted to leave. But like I said,
So your understanding, at least at this point, was that he was still on the team. Yet, I'm going to ask you a question.
yeah,
Had you had a personal conversation with him before he decided to bring what he felt was important to share to the
no,
league publicly, or did he have a conversation with you first?
we did not speak about that. The last thing we was all in the chat about was about the championship game. They were trolling him or messing with him about him on BIC sideline. They were making jokes, and
And what
he
was
was
his
getting
response to that?
he was calling a lot of people D riders, calling them out their names. And like I said, a lot of people were just
He
messing
was the
around with him.
one on another team's sideline. Anyway, keep going, keep going.
So,
So wait,
so
you
yeah,
said people were calling him out. Was it guys from your team or just
yeah,
guys?
yeah, like they were
In the
just
animals
messing with him. Like
chat, yeah.
they was sending a picture of him on BIC Silent, like, oh, you a fan, da da ha ha. Like they laughing at him, making fun of him, and he just like was like lashing out, like going at them or whatever, like mad. And then, like I said, after that he went live not too long after and was just like, like airing out team business that was, we keep it in house. We don't speak about what we need to fix and stuff like that. And you don't speak about team stuff on Instagram. I mean, Facebook Live. So like I said, that was just my issue. Like I said, as a quarterback and as the leader of the team, like that's one thing I won't go for. Once I feel like you go against the family, you no longer family to me. So like I said, it just became a personal issue with me and him.
Dub,
So
what's your question?
let me ask this question. So was there point at any point in time during the regular season did the tension start? Was it felt amongst the rest of the guys on the roster that eventually led to what has happened now? Did you pinpoint at any point in time during the regular season where you felt like, okay, something's not right here.
Um, I mean, I wouldn't say that, but it was just like a lot of stuff that, as me being a QB again, like I didn't appreciate. Like, it just seemed like, like I said, he also stated that he felt like I had some secret animosity to him and that I stopped throwing him the ball. But I'm like, 15 touchdowns, like, like, come on, like I would never but yeah, it's just like, he felt like I had some secret animosity to him, and a lot of the times he would do stuff as you being the number one wide receiver, as we're speaking as an offense on the sideline. We don't expect you to be on the bleachers with your girlfriend or on the other sideline. Like, like we don't expect that. So like I said, it was just a lot of checking. Like I said, like I addressed it, and when he'll be lashing, I'll address it. But like I said, I mean, he probably felt like I had some animosity to him, but never. Even after he didn't show up to Vegas, like I didn't expect him to leave the team. Like I thought he was gonna be here, but
Yeah.
So
So then you guys
let me
have.
ask something that is a
Okay,
little
go
bit
ahead.
different here, because I know we've been getting into it more on the personal level. My question mark is, are the Animals going to miss Manny Diaz?
and I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. I don't think he's a bad receiver, but I honestly don't think that we lost much. I don't think that my other two boys that I have in KP and LA that they can't do. I honestly think LA is a more athletic version of Manny. I think LA can do a lot of amazing things, and KP is our route runner. KP came along at the end of the season. Like I said, KP and me, we got in shape. I got in shape after the season, but KP worked his way and getting in shape during the season, and he really lit it up. Like I said, I don't really think that we are losing too much. And we also added another receiver, another deep threat speed receiver. So like I said, it's a loss, but it was something that we was able to replace. No shade to him, but yeah, we'll be fine. And it's me. Honestly, I think that I can put my receivers in a position to be successful, and I can also put any one of my receivers on a roster in a position to score 15 touchdowns too.
So in
Well,
other words, the cupboard is still full.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you guys will be able to figure it out. I mean, it's
Like I said, it already was figured. Like I said, it was figured
yeah.
out
I mean,
probably
but
2 weeks after the situation. Like I said, we swept it on the rug and we moved on. Like I said, we
well, and just to
found.
clarify, because where we got to is still because you said it after the Facebook thing. You guys are literally talking, airing out the everything in public, and then there's a conversation. He's still not leaving. When did it become official to you in your minds as the Animals that he was not an animal any longer?
So I was talking to Jair and Black and Joker throughout the time frame of after everything happened. We were talking about him and him coming back. They obviously wanted him back. Um, I was like, no, like I don't really care about him being back. But I was like, also at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Like this is our receiver. He is our one of our main core guys. Let's keep the course. So like I said, like I've reached out to him. I apologize. And I didn't get no response from him. So I kind of already knew where it was going. But like probably like a day or two after I found out that he was leaving. But it was I kind of like I said, I just kind of took it on the shoulder, like whatever, like.
Yeah,
But I didn't
and
expect
listen,
the I didn't expect the BIC thing. Like I thought he would go to like a TMU Renegades or the U or something to try to be a number one, but to go and be a number three was kind of like
So
but
when you look at that and you see him going over to BIC to be a number 3, what goes through your mind on that side of it?
they don't want to compete. You don't want to compete. I mean, if I'm leaving a team that's up there, like I said, I honestly believe we're the number 2 team right behind them. I honestly think that we can beat them this upcoming season. Just to go over there just gives me fan behavior. Like I know people be like, oh, that's his boys, da 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 da. Like me, if I see my boys over, like you, I don't care if my boys are winning. If y'all loaded, I'm not coming over there to be no 2-3. But like I said, that's just some people run different. Like I said, if he feel like that's his best move for him, then that's so be it.
listen.
Like I
It was
don't.
LeBron. It's
Well,
LeBron's fault, bro.
was it
You're
Yeah,
was
but
there
you're
was
a
the
diamond
situation
in.
with where
Go
you
ahead.
had him? Sorry, Corey.
No,
The
you're good.
situation where you saw him on the sidelines. It would seem like that. I'm getting a couple of things in here, and I have no problem with showing this, which we should have. So saying that he was on the sidelines during the 24 and 25 championship. So it wouldn't appear that that was the undoing, but it was a piece of what basically put him over with BIC, correct? So it wasn't like that was the that was it, you know, oh, he's over there, so we got to get rid of him. That wasn't
Yeah.
what precipitated that. It was more, and it was
So
the arguments that you guys have had prior.
So, like I said, in the prior to after the Vegas trip when we got our asses handed to us out in Vegas, like I said, it was a problem. Like I said, like I was very upset that he didn't go. Like I said, Brian, Richie, and Joker and all them pushed very hard to get him down there. They pushed very hard to get him down there, and they did everything they could. And like I said, just for him to not go, you know, just kind of like it made me feel a type of way. Like you left your boys hanging. Like a lot of our players did a lot to make sure that they can go, and a lot of our players had to go through a lot to make sure that they can go. And for him to use two different type of excuses was just kind of like a, you know, like it don't really seem like you were willing to do what it takes to try to help us win. And like I said, that just kind of like struck my funny bone. Like, you know, like I don't know, like I can't really look at you like you my receiver one, because like if you my receiver one, I expect you to always be there when I need you, or just always be there when we ready to go to war. So it kind of just rubbed off on me the wrong way. But like I said, I didn't really address him about it. I didn't really hold no grudge over him or nothing. Like I said, just after all that, the championship game, and he was calling our players and calling us the D word, D riders, and then went live on Facebook. That's kind of where it just became an issue for me. And I spoke out and I came at him about it. Like I said, I did say personal stuff to him because, like I said, once you air out team personal stuff, then you're no longer my family of the animals. Now you're an enemy of mine.
Well, moving on, because now, I mean, listen, it sounds like you guys have done that as the animals, and what else can you do? There's really nothing to do. I appreciate that you're on here, and neither you nor Manny has said anything about either's talent to the negative, because that would be what the youngsters call cap, right? I think I'm saying that right,
Yeah,
guys, correct?
yeah.
But moving forward, I think, you know, it's interesting to think where the animals now, you know, let's just say that, because listen, you said you were bringing guys this year and you did, so we trust you now, right? The Insomniacs, RTC, when he was on the Kryptonite, said we're bringing the guys. I trust him. Go ahead, Dub. You're out of here.
Yeah, because we only
Shout
got
out
I'm
to
just saying,
Dub.
last
I'm
couple of
about to
questions.
clock
I
in
see.
to work, but I just want to say, DT, appreciate you coming on, and I know Corey and Chris will do good closing down the fort.
Yeah.
But tune in next week. We will we're aiming to have the big owner from Atlanta to come and talk about Atlanta getting involved for next episode. But until then, I'm out. Chris and Corey will carry on, of course.
Yeah, and
Appreciate Manny Diaz and David Turner for coming on and interviewing with us here on this edition of the Sabah. Love y'all. God bless. Good night.
All right, Dub. See ya.
See you, Dub.
And I may have an inside scoop with a player, an active player on the ATL team. That's interesting. But
We'll talk about
back
that
to
next
Mr.
week.
Marketable. Back to Mr. Marketable. All right.
Yep. You got one last question for him? Since
No,
we're up
listen.
against it.
We have this man live, Chris. I'm gonna make the executive decision. We take the show a little bit longer, especially because we have a lot of viewers right now, right? What do you say, Mr. Marketable? If Chris wants to kick us off, he's got something to do. Then you're beat. We could continue this next week.
Well, I also don't want to. What I don't want to do is when we have you on here, DT, is kind of like go through things and then where we're getting into different, maybe what sounds like different questions, but we're asking you the same thing over again. So
No, y'all fine. Like I said,
Well,
that's
I was going to
why
ask him about this year moving forward, because
go ahead.
you mentioned it a little bit earlier in the conversation about how you see the animals being that contender to BIC, and I would say the trajectory tracks, excuse me, the trajectory tracks. I said cracks.
Easy for you to say.
Not at all, obviously. Now, Tender, I am not shy and I'm not corny, so I'm going to make the same joke that I always do to your face. You went from 2 seasons ago setting a record for going 0-2 in the same playoff, which even with my abysmal playoff record, I was never able to do. So that's a feat in itself. But to be serious, you went from you guys being a fun team to watch that lost in shootouts to a team last year that figured it out on the defensive side of the ball. And when you were healthy, was considered one of the toughest outs in the entire country. There was no matchup with the Renegades, which I think was a highly anticipated hypothetical.
Yeah.
And we missed out on it for a lot of reasons. We can get into that if you want. But there was
Ah,
also the games in which, for whatever reason, when you are balling out against BIC, you also somehow get that nail in the tire and end up flat at the end of it. So you've already discussed how you're healthier this year and you seem like you're in better shape. I think it was in the Vegas game you lost all 30 pounds, allegedly,
oh my! It would have felt like it.
right? But what is
Yeah.
I'm trying to
your
tell
what
you
is your
guys, man. Hey, when you come out here and you're playing in this heat, it's different.
yeah, no,
And I did everything I could possibly do. I didn't drink. I drank a lot of water. I was making sure I didn't eat as much. And I even during the game I was trying to make sure I stayed hydrated and it still wasn't enough. I was like,
yeah,
bro, this
listen,
is
you
crazy.
played the entire game and you were hurt, to be clear. You looked
Yeah,
terrible
it
on that
was
on those off balance throws that are perfect for you when you're healthy. You were throwing picks when you never would have. And it was 100,000 degrees. But
yeah.
we're talking about next year. We're talking about next year. We're talking about a healthy team. We're talking about a together team. We're talking about a team that's going to maybe bounce back from this drama and get back to the business of football. What is your outlooks for next year, and what is your take on a very crowded and deep Northeast division to start the 2026 campaign, which is a lot closer than people think?
Yeah, it is very close. Like I said, I feel like we're getting better each year. I think I do a very good job of recruiting. I got a lot of guys on board wanting to come over, so it's not really that hard to find very good athletes. Like I said, I feel like
Oh,
we
I so
gotten
love.
even more weapons on defense. I think our defense actually might be even better this year. We also revamped our offensive line a little bit, so I think I will have a little more protection this upcoming season. Like I said, I don't need too much protection. Just give me 2 seconds and I'm make something work. But uh, like I said, just a lot. I like how everybody's dedicated. Everybody's ready to go. Like I said, I'm in shape now. I'm healthy finally. Finally recovered from my injury, and like I said, I'm just ready. Like I know my boys is ready. It's a lot personal, especially with my
Look at
receivers
this man.
because
We need a fall, man.
they
We need a
they
fall.
had they have a lot of they feel like they got something to prove. A lot of people don't think that any of them can replace Manny, but like I said, I know for a fact that my receivers are going to do a lot this season, and it's going to shock a lot of people.
Oh, we lost Chris. Um, yeah, man. Listen, I'm excited too. Everybody's asking me where I'm going to play. I'm just, I'm just waiting for it to be the right time to talk about it. There's more important things to
Hmm.
talk about.
Right.
But another question I have for you, because there was a renaissance this year in 2025 where the top teams that were really playing offense correctly,
Hmm.
the passing game was 90% of the offense, including the bulk of the rushing yardage.
No
And
idea
Chris
what
Tree joins
happened.
us. So, for
Yeah,
instance,
I
Sterry,
lost both of you.
you're good. I
Yeah.
could talk forever, so you probably didn't even miss much but me just gasbagging. But Sterry
Hmm.
was not only one of the leading passers, obviously, in the league, he was one of the top rushers. You led the league in
It's doing
rushing
it again.
and were second in the league in passing. Where where do you see Quani Morgan fitting in 2026? Because let me tell you something. What your team needs from you is to be available. Because if you're
Yeah.
healthy, I think that you can play football relatively well. Correct me where I'm wrong, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. My dumbass learned when I played with Courage. Now, there's not a lot of Courages, so I just kind of put that out as an outlier. But last year I played with a guy, Delron Simmons. And I'll tell you what, I did miss a game because the Heathens guy got me in like directly in the knee, which was kind of like a weird thing. My suggestion would be just the words Quani Morgan. But what are your thoughts on an obviously talented guy But when we did our top 50, David, and
Yeah,
you're a,
was
you're a,
Kwani
you're
actually
a,
top 50?
he barely made it because no running backs were getting yards. It was all the quarterbacks. But
Yeah.
and he was a good returner. But what happened this year with him, and how do you get him back on a similar trajectory next year? Because the talent's there, the
Yeah.
production wasn't last year.
Yeah, so like I said, Kwani, he had a lot of personal issues going on, so he missed a lot of games. But when he did play, he did obviously make noise. Like I said, he played against the U, had 4 or 5 touchdowns.
Yeah,
Played
that was
against
a
Bick, he
great game for
had
him.
a touchdown against BIC. And like I said, after I got injured, it kind of like our offense kind of slowed down because I was more of scared of trying to prevent another injury like that, or I was still dealing with some type of pain. But yeah, the plan obviously, Richie's gone now, so I'm back to calling my own plays. I think we'll be fine. I think we'll utilize Mari and Kwani a lot more this season, and we'll make sure that we feed our running backs. I also feel like out Vegas we should have ran the ball more, but you know, um, that wasn't my call. But like I said, I got two great running backs. A lot of teams can't say that probably besides Vic, but I like where my two running backs are. And we're going to utilize both of them a lot over the field, not even just at running back like we did last season. We used them over the field, so it's gonna be a good season. But I definitely expect Mari and Kwani to both have great seasons on the rushing end, but also on the passing end too.
Yeah, and welcome back, Chris. Again, we're talking about how the running backs faded last season, and how with maybe it seems like an offensive coordinator play calling change. Shout outs to Richie Augusto. Where is he going now?
Where do you think he going? Just take that, Chris and Richie, Chris and Corey. Please just take a guess where I think Richie's going. Oh, not only Richie and our defensive coordinator too.
Ant Live?
Yeah,
So
y'all two
the
just
snow
take.
tribe, the snow tribe guys.
Yeah. Just take a
Well,
guess where I think they
listen.
going.
Ant Live, a BIC legend. Now
Right.
listen.
No. I feel that, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Where do you
So
think they going?
well, shout out to Richie Augusto. Where what is he doing? Listen, what why? Anyway, that's my guy. I can if I ever have him on the show, we can have a conversation. Um, listen, I think you might be okay calling your own plays. Shout outs to Richie
Yeah,
Augusto.
for sure. Like you seen what I was doing the first year. I was calling on my own. Like I said, I didn't really think it was a loss on my end. Like I said, I'm a pretty good quarterback. I know how to call my own plays. Like I'm not a
You're okay,
rookie.
right?
So
You're not so
so
bad,
like
not
it
too
was just
shabby.
crazy. Like on the team that he went to, that was just kind of a shocker to me. Like we were obviously game planning. We were talking a lot in the off season about what we are going to do together and how I'm in shape and healthy again. Like how we're going to kill the league next year. Just not even have a conversation with me about leaving the big, but to talk to Joker and you didn't talk to your own quarterback. So that was just kind of my problem with it. But yeah, they can go beat BIC cheerleaders and we're gonna come and kick their ass this season. I know that one. So it is what it is.
Yeah. So all right. So there's this BIC thing that whatever it is, what it is, right? And
Yeah,
that's what happened.
look,
Listen,
I can't lie to Corey. BIC got the juice. Like they name hold a
bro.
lot of weight. But
I was out here, and Corey Price will tell you, like the old Joker will tell you, I was out here in 2014 saying, "Don't go to BIC." Like this is now this decades into the BIC people go to BIC thing. I also was someone who went to BIC. To be clear, now that ask about that in a podcast not about David Tender. So here's my thing, and I don't necessarily think that there's anything negative going on, but I do like to play devil's advocate because I think it's easier to push out something that's fun to listen to.
right.
But it's easy, in my opinion, because I've been on a lot of different types of teams recently that have been bad, but I played a long enough time to been on good teams, been on teams that are mid, right? You went
Mhm.
from a team in the Animals that really had no expectations. To be clear, for people that are either new or forget, this was Huff just left. They're going to go back to the Animals team that you weren't even the starter at the time. It was Bebo, my backup recently with the Hawks. And
Oh no,
and
so about that, I was actually declared the starter from day one. They just wanted to like work me in there. Like they didn't
all
want to
right,
just
well,
throw him to the
listen.
side.
We could go. Listen. if you're worried about whose perception about that quarterback battle, you got bigger fish to fry. I think we all understand. Regardless of what anyone says. I mean,
Right.
who do you play for, and how many yards did you pass for last season? No, so listen. So this is what I'm saying. You went from being that team with low expectations, and you put up stats, and it was fun, and it was energizing to a league that watching an Animals team play without Huff, and all of a sudden these fresh new faces are coming in and balling out. It reminded a lot of the older guys why we love this league.
Hmm.
Again, I can make the joke though. When it really mattered, the team wasn't that close though. You guys in
Yeah.
situations where you were putting up 60, 70 points, were losing. Weird. Twice in a playoff situation record. Now, last year, you guys obviously are a lot better. You added a lot to the defensive side of the ball. Trey Baskerville, Long, list goes on. IG
Benny
Live is kind of one of
Jones.
the most underrated additions that doesn't get talked about because his ability to block and play a very, very offensive, and I mean that by gaining yardage, a very offensive tight end, but he also was a beast on the defensive side playing D end on the other
Hmm.
side of Trey Baskerville. That's how you
Hmm.
got better from that year to this most recent year is with the addition of talent. But as
Yeah.
you know, there's only 7 people on the field. And as we
Correct.
just saw, and this is my opinion on a Vegas show, as we just saw with the Insomniacs, that I don't think it's arguable that they added talent to a championship repeat roster.
Hmm.
I would say BIC lost talent because they lost Dave Valley. They won. There's only 7 guys on the field at a time. The depth of your roster is important, but there's only so many ways you can incrementally get better once you add the pieces. And let's be clear,
Hmm.
the Animals had the pieces last year, yes or no?
Yeah, I think we had the team to do it. Honestly, I just felt like I held this back after my injury. Like I said, I was
Yeah.
cleared to play, but I
So
just
how do
didn't
you go
feel
from
fully healthy.
having the pieces to not being able to do it, and you just gave a couple of reasons, to this year? What is the thing that you guys as the Animals have to do to get over the mountaintop and not only just be the team that everybody wants to watch, but be the team that everybody hates to play?
Well, obviously, everybody mentally is there. We all know what's at stake. We all know what we can do. We all know we can get the championship. It just comes down to game time. We just got to cut the little mistakes that we do. A lot of injuries. We did have a lot of injuries. We just need to cut the minimum mistakes, not give up stupid touchdowns. We gave up a lot of them. Like I said, the defense didn't play bad last year. There's a little, like I said, just a little stuff we got to clean up on both sides, offense and defensively. But like I said, we're addressing all of that now. So when the season come, I think that we really are going to be better than what we were last year. Everybody should be available this season. A lot of people were missing some games, but like I said, everybody's going to be there. We all know what we can do. Our mental our mindset ain't
Mindset.
changed. Yeah,
Right.
our mindset ain't changed. We all know what we can do. So like I said, we're looking forward to it. We hope to see a Vegas and Animals rematch, and give y'all a better showing this time, with a fully healthy DT and full Animal. So it's gonna be a good one. Like I said, just stay tuned, and that BIC and Animals game is definitely going to be one of them games where y'all don't want to miss. It's going to be a crazy one, like always. But I think this time is going to be, it's a lot more on the line. And yeah.
Well, Chris, my bad because you were jumping in and out, so I had no one to stop me. So obviously
No,
I
you're
was going
good.
to talk
You're good.
Yeah, I
It
was
looked
about
like
to say,
for
300
Chris,
some
you
miles
got
an
reason
some
hour.
things
questions,
started to break
Chris?
down. I couldn't get back on.
No,
You
so
got some
Chris,
questions, Chris?
go for him.
What's up?
You got some questions for me?
No, just listening to some of the stuff. I was able to actually jump on and listen to you guys talking on my phone because I couldn't get
Hmm.
back on my computer. So I was listening to some of the questions. And realistically, I think that Corey asked quite a few of the ones that I was going to kind of butt in and ask anyway. So I think for the most part, the only question that I have that I didn't hear um, is that if you guys have new faces on defense, that's the only question that I didn't hear. if you guys have a bunch of new faces coming in on defense.
Oh, we got a few. But like I said, we had a bunch of new faces last year also.
Yes,
And they
but
all they all
I'm
came
just
in.
curious how many more you got trickling in this year.
Uh um Probably like on the defensive side, maybe like four, 4 or 5. Um Maybe 6. Working on that one right now. So we got a good amount. We got probably like two new DBs, three D linemen. Um Working on another DB. So yeah, so it just we got a lot.
I don't want to steal this from Matt,
Yeah,
so
this is a Matt
I'll
Ryan
let you see it.
question.
This is a
So
Matt
he's
Ryan
uh
how
question.
he's
do
he's
you
coming in and asking a legitimate question. DC, here you go.
how do you look at the shrinking of Baltimore benefits the animals, and how do you refine a team with parts across 3 states and middle part? Like I said, we got Mari. Mari's a huge asset to our team. The commitment to the team, the loyalty that he's brung over here after coming over from Baltimore. Um, he does his best to always make it. I know he would do his best to make sure that them fellas from Baltimore have a ride to the game. If they don't, he'll make sure that they do. Like he'll pick them up or something. But um, Mari played a big role in recruiting them, so I know for a fact that Mari will do his best to make sure that all of them guys are in Jersey every week. Like I said, practice is just we practice with what we got, and I truly believe that practice doesn't always matter what you put out in the game. Like I said, chemistry and dedication and hard work and sweat defines how these games are won, not always practice. So I think that a few of our fellas, if they do miss the practice, that they do make up for it with their talent in game. And our team has done. Our team has done like I'm mad that Ant left because I said he done a good job at making sure that these guys understood game plans, and he did a very good job at
Yeah,
game plans. So like I
Ant's
said, that's
really good
just
Ant's always been successful at running defenses in this league,
yeah.
so he
So
will
like
be missed.
that's just something that we will have to adjust to. Like I said, but we have a lot of veterans. We have Cardo, we have Benny, we have a bunch of stuff. Like I said, it's just guys that just got to step up. Even the young guy, like I said, Benny Jones, like he's next up. Like if he like we need him to take that step to be a leader on that defensive side of the ball, he will. So like I said, that's just it. Like I said, like all them Baltimore guys, I think my boy Mario will have it handled, and we'll be fine. It's going to actually be crazy, because we didn't only just get Baltimore guys, we got some of the top Baltimore guys, so it's going to be nice. It feels good. I feel more comfortable after we signed them.
There
So
you go.
the last one for Matt, and then Corey, I'll let you get one more, and then we'll
How
do
do you
final
define it?
thoughts. But
Just how do you define it?
yeah, how do you define that chemistry?
Like I said, just reps, in-game reps, just keep playing through the game. I guess you build that over time. You learn how your brothers play. You learn how to build structure.
Well, I'll ask the
It's
question
not.
that hasn't been asked.
Yeah, let me hear it.
Do you guys play? Well, no, it's actually an easy one. Do you guys play in the flag leagues together at all?
So Zay, our tight end, he plays me, Kwani, KP, Zay, Benny, all 5 of us play on the same flag team. Robert Long, he plays on our flag team. LA is about to start playing with our flag team. Like I said, it's just yeah, like I said, most of the Philly boys are on our on the same flag team. It's just our boy Justin plays for another, but like I said, Justin is just that's another name that you guys will be hearing upcoming. Like he missed a lot of games in the last 2 seasons, but um, Justin Honcho, number 26, he's going to be making a lot of noise this year on the defensive side of the ball. Um, but yeah, like it's just like the chemistry is just there. Like I said, I love playing with Kwani and KP. Like we've been playing together for years now. Even before A7, like those are like my brothers. Like we hang with each other off the field. So we're actually getting ready to go to nationals in a month. So like I said, we all just prepping. We all know what we got coming up at A7. Like I said, we're all hungry, and I feel like when your core guys on the offensive side of the ball are hungry and they're in their best shape of their life, it's gonna be scary because you already couldn't stop that offense and you just building more. And we was missing our tight end against BIC. So like I said, when we sit in this time, it's gonna be a bigger game because like I said you have to worry about not only DT, KP, Kwani, LA. You got to worry about a Zay Gonzalez. And like I said, on the defense side of the ball, like you got to worry about a Justin, Benny Jones, Cardo, Nick Mays, Robbie.
Yeah.
Those like I said, it just feel like
Yeah.
it's like
Say
just feel a lot more comfortable.
who is Cardo? I don't know
Well,
anybody in this.
Ricardo Freeman from
Who's that?
Baltimore,
I don't know anybody
Wolverine,
by that government name in the A7FL.
Wolverine.
Well, you narc, you out here doing the Corey Hammond shtick.
Well, I thought that everybody knew like you feel me, but
You
Wolverine, yeah, Wolverine,
talking to people that do know, right? But you also,
yeah.
Chris, did you know that Cardo was Wolverine?
Yes.
Well, his Facebook name is
Okay. I'm just saying, I'm
Ricardo.
not everybody does.
Yeah. No,
No, yeah, but
actually,
like
I
I
did.
said, yeah, like I said, not only just being able to play flag with them boys, like they are amazing athletes. Like even in flag, like these boys make amazing plays all the time. Like I said, like I don't it doesn't get old for me. Like I'll be amazed at seeing the plays that my brothers make on both sides of the ball with Zay. And that's also another thing. Y'all didn't get to see Zay because Zay play a lot of defense. He played
I
DN in
did. I played
college,
against
so
his ass. Yeah, I
so
did.
yeah, like you might see him on the defensive side of the ball too more. But like I
Yeah.
said,
Well,
it's just
yeah.
crazy. Like I said, the chemistry is amazing between
Nah,
us
listen, and
6,
and
7.
you guys are good. But my last thing, and I'm sorry that I had Derek specifically. I'm sorry that I had to say this for last. This has been a very New Jersey centric show, so I do apologize to our Vegas viewers. I am
Why? It's
contractually
not. Hey,
obligated.
when are you going to realize that
Hold
it
on,
is
it's
no
a bit.
longer
It's a
about
bit.
East
I'm
Coast,
doing the
West
bit.
Coast?
I'm doing
Okay,
the bit.
good,
I am
good.
contractually
Get ahead. Get
obligated
ahead.
to talk about Vegas, right? Because this is the Vegas show. You guys did, and you guys are one of the only, to be clear. There's not a lot of teams that have had that experience that have played the Vegas competition from the Northeast.
Hmm.
Let's hear it. You played on that field. Now, was it a scorching hell hole? Yes, it was. Yeah, was it the hottest place on the planet Earth at the time? Sure. Right? Is Mercury colder? Yes. But tell us about the
Back
team
East is
that you
colder.
played and your impression of the Vegas guys and what their best had to offer on that Sunday against you guys in that heat.
It was I'm not gonna lie, it was crazy. Like I said, getting to play against all them boys, AJ and Moses and stuff like that. Like it was crazy. Like them boys got off on the ball. I was actually surprised when I broke that one tackle on AJ. I was like, holy shit! Like holy, they was coming
That
hard. They
don't
was no
happen
no
often,
diddy.
bro. Don't happen
Yeah,
often.
I heard I thought we watched the game. He like what like that like he just broke the tag. I'm like yeah that must be crazy. But yeah they definitely were a bunch of dogs. They are loaded on every spot on that defense and offense. But I do feel like if I was healthy and we were in a more like relaxing weather, not heat like that, I think that it would have been more of a
What, you
competitive
need
game.
home
Like I
field
said,
advantage? You
no.
can't
I
deal
think we
with
need
the
a
stadium
neutral
rumble?
site.
You can't deal with the
So what?
stadium
You
rumble
saying you
going?
can't
Oh
play?
shit,
You
I
can't
can't
play
call
on
a
the
hot
face of the
route.
sun? No, I'm just
No,
joking.
hell
You can't
no.
play on the face of the
Hell
Bro,
sun like
my
no.
we
fat
do all
ass
the
would have
time out
I
died.
here.
mean, I mean, I think I can. I think I believe I can. But like I said, a lot of our teammates were also getting like heat exhaustion and
And
were
listen,
getting so
anybody that says they could have
Comes
done
up
better
quick.
than you guys did is lying.
so
It
It's a
comes up
lie.
quick.
yeah. So like I said, it was a good game. Like I said, I can't. I look forward to. I do believe that we'll be in the same position again. I think we'll meet again. And it's going to be it's going to be an even better showing. Like I said, it wasn't too much, but like I said, we are coming, and we know what's at stake, and we know we have a lot to prove again. But yeah, just expect good showing from every game this year. Starting off with TMU Renegades week 1. A lot of people were anticipating that game, but like I said, I think we're gonna whoop their ass. Like I'm just gonna be honest, I think we're gonna whoop their ass. But
Hey, be
um,
honest with it.
yeah, just stay tuned for
What are you gonna
that.
do? Do you have offensive linemen that can block their defensive line?
Like I said, we revamped our line. We got better. We have a tight end that can,
Bro, how you gonna ask that question knowing that
Just
he ain't gonna freaking give out any kind of information
he
right
was
now?
just about to.
like
He
Come
was
on,
just about
man.
to. He was
wait,
just
No,
about
question
he
to.
about
wasn't.
what?
All he gonna tell
No, you're
you is
good. You're good. You're good.
exactly
All
what a
right.
good
I don't
quarterback
listen.
will. Hey,
Listen,
we revamped
normally-
our offensive line. We got some more guys in key positions.
That's right.
We're
That's
not
right.
worried. Tell me if that wasn't what you're gonna say, Dave.
So yeah. So I ain't
Tech,
gonna lie,
yeah.
like a lot of
Tech,
our,
yes,
like I
sir.
said, our team knows. If I know what you're gonna say, well, what about the guys that was like
No,
everybody knows
I'm
their
just
like
joking around.
like I said, the thing that I like about our team is that everybody knows their what's at stake. Again, like I said, everybody knows their role. So like I said, everybody will play, but we know what is on the line. So like I said, we did a lot of talking and recruiting on that O line and D line and just all over both sides of the ball. So we kind of know what's at stake. So I'd like, people got to take step backs or everything's gonna be fine. I don't think that some people being rookies are going to affect us. But like I said, I'm not too concerned about any defensive line in this league. At the end of the day, I'm me. I don't think anybody can stop me. So, even if they do beat my O line, you're not going to beat me. So, yeah.
Well, there you
Hey,
go.
hey, man, we went the full 2 hours on this. So, Chris, my bad. I was just
No, you're
excited to
good,
have
man.
a guy to ask questions about quarterback.
So
But so I'm gonna do this. Listen, we brought you guys both on, even though one was pre-recorded, and we had to
hmm
put Chris literally in the hot seat, fucking trying to figure that out live. Crazy. My bad, Chris. That was
now I
wild.
know. Now I
Now
know.
we know. So we'll
I
do it
know
better
how to
next
do
time.
it.
Shout outs to the audience who stayed. What are your parting words to Manny Diaz?
Uh, I would wish you the best of luck, but your best luck was over here, buddy.
Kind of felt that
Um,
was coming.
like I said,
Well said.
I don't have no
Well,
animosity to
Nah,
him,
leave it
but
there. Drop mic.
no. Like it's like I
No,
don't,
man,
I'm
no.
not
It's good.
Let him finish. Let him finish what his
like
feelings
like I
are.
said, I don't have no animosity towards him. I'm not beefing with him. But like I said, there's definitely no good blood between us. It's just neutral. Like I said, I don't wish him well because the best thing was over here. It's going to be seen this season. And I dare BIC to try to play him against us and try to force feed him because it will be an ass whooping towards him. And like I said, a lot, not only me, my fellas took that personal. And yeah, like I said, so yeah, I don't got nothing
So
really to say.
my final thing for you is we always finish the show with a final thought. I know that was your final thought on Manny. What's your final overall thought?
About like this upcoming season, our team, or what
Whatever you
exactly?
want it to be, man. It could be about
Um,
freaking Christmas. It don't matter. Just your final thoughts on and feelings.
my final thought, I think that it's going to be another great season between all of the teams in the Northeast and Insomniacs over there. I think that there will be a new champion this year, honestly. If I think that us and the
You
Renegades are
calling your
both
shot?
coming up. But like I said, I have a screenshot actually of what I said at the championship game, and I'm gonna show you guys real quick. I actually posted at the championship game that we will be here next year. So, yeah. So I
Hopefully you're
believe.
talking about the ship and not at that facility. But
No,
that's
no, no,
just
no,
me.
not that, no.
That's
The
just
chip,
me.
yeah, that facility, yeah,
That's just
that was
me.
a bit odd. I didn't
Yeah.
really. I liked the idea of the dome, but then the field thing was just like, what? Like that ain't really, But yeah, like I said, I think we'll beat her this year. But only time could tell. Like I said,
Yep.
just gonna keep working and see you on June and
Got
What
it.
many
was
more
it? What
interviews.
was it? You wish him what was it? Luck? What? Say it again.
I will wish him well, but the best was over here. So
You
no.
wish him the best of luck, but his best luck was over here.
No.
What?
I would wish him well, but no, I don't wish him
Yeah,
well. I
listen.
don't wish
His
him well.
best would have been with the animals.
When you
Yeah.
first said it, yo, cut the short, post it, clip it, done. That's Mr. Marketable. My bad, I fucked it up.
Yeah,
But anyway,
like
Corey, what's your final thoughts?
no, that's it, man. This show's about this guy. He gave us a lot of good stuff, and also Manny Diaz. Now, listen, we were kind of like not necessarily vibing on the same page with Manny. David has put his perspective forward, which again is just his opinion against Manny's opinion. There's personal things involved and all this other shit. But as a league, listen, we can move on. I think Jay Roller's talking about a fall. Let's see if we can get some games going because I think people are hungry. But at the end of the day, Thank you for coming on, David Tender. Thank you for Manny's appearance a couple days ago. But I think it's time for
Yeah.
some football. You guys talked enough.
Oh
We got
yeah,
it out in the open.
man.
We'd love to hear in the comments what your guys' opinion of either what Manny said, what David
It
said,
was.
or if you're on either team, you could just blindly support your guy. That is cool, and it's good for the algorithm. Also, listen, just like it. I know you're watching it for your boy David Tender or to hate on your boy because it's David Tender. But the least you could do is do that little thumbs up thing. I don't know how the Google works or even how to spell it, but guys, it's the A7FL, and you're part of it as well. So that's all I got, Chris. Tender.
My
My
final
wife is
thought.
mad. We've
My
already gone
final
30
thought
minutes
is
over.
pretty easy. David, you still haven't accepted my friend request on
All
Facebook.
right, look. All right. So what is? All right, look. Let's go now. What is
Listen,
your
it's the
Facebook
bald
name?
guy with the
It's already
Canadian
on there,
maple
man.
flag
I
in the
just
top corner.
I friend requested you. If you want, I'll cancel it and
What?
do it
No.
again.
Just tell me your Facebook name.
It's Chris Vera. He's fucking
Yeah, it's
50
just
something. It's not like
CHRISVEIRA.
it's not
Oh,
It's on there, man.
look.
Come on, bro.
Look.
he said
You
what
sending me a friend request? Yes, that's me.
We're friends now.
That's me. Well,
I couldn't find
official.
it. I couldn't find it
Official.
at first. I got it though. But yeah, I
Well-
appreciate y'all boys having me. Like I said, it's always a good show. I always try to tune into the podcast whenever I can. Y'all do an amazing job. I like that y'all cover a lot of the league. Like a lot of people might not like the podcast, but I think y'all keep it real.
We had
and
you
a
at
lot of
10.
people-
Oh, hold up. We had you at 10. Where you slide up?
Oh, I'm finishing top two this season and not number
go.
2. So
Ooh.
you know,
So you calling?
like I
So not only are you calling the shot that you're going to be number 1, you also
I
calling
honestly,
the shot that you guys will be going to the chip next year too.
yes.
That's, I mean,
Like
Chris,
I said,
let's be
I
honest.
truly
Let's be honest.
believe.
That's how it works. If you win the championship, you're the quarterback. You're Mr. Marketable. Everybody's going to vote for you. We all know what's going to happen.
Hey,
So,
all I
well,
can
to
say
be
is
fair,
all I can say is this is recorded, so we can go back and take
yeah,
a look at it again.
and I want
Man,
them.
we
Yes,
recorded.
yeah.
We recorded my boy Pac-Man for the Force saying it was his division, like minutes before the Insomniacs formed. So you know, we don't
It is
hold
what it
people to
is.
account, David. You're good.
Nope.
You'll be
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah. I know what comes I know what comes with this. You know, like I said, I won't call my own card unless I know. Like I said, I truly believe that we would have been there if I wasn't hurt. But you know, like I said, this is the season. I'm coming. I'm not going to take as much unnecessary hits, and sacks and stuff. So, like I said, I'm just kind of getting as the years go, as the season go, I kind of become more smarter with my decisions and how I should protect my body. So, yeah, just stay tuned and yeah, number 1, top 2, not 2, and see you on the championship game.
Hey man, because we won't be talking to you before then. Merry Christmas to you and the family.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully
Yep, thank
everything
you.
is good, man, and you take
Mhm.
care of yourself. And I'm looking forward to watching you guys next season for sure. I'm also going to hit you up on Facebook a couple of times and give you crap when I see you dogging it out there and not doing what you should. I got to stay on top of my boys. So you'll be one that I'm staying on top of. So I want to see what you do. So I will be keeping an eye on you for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, thank you. Merry Christmas to you both, and your families. Like I said, yep. Just stay tuned. Like I said, now you see. So we're gonna go handle business at Nationals next month, and then y'all be seeing little previews of the animals practice. So
sounds good to me, man.
So shout outs
Everybody.
to K-Wax, shout outs to Mizzle, shout outs to everybody, to Jean, to Matt Ryan in the chat.
Matt Ryan for jumping in,
to
Corey.
most of the animals, you know, skill positions. You know, your offensive linemen, they need their sleep. They need to get their rest. But
they need some dinner. All I can say is for everybody.
wait, actually, hold on. I want to get 2 guys on here for y'all to speak to really quick. Let me see if they join. I want.
You're not doing
KP,
this.
KP and Kwani, look, we live. Other side of the ball. Say what's up to them.
What's up, fellas?
KP, man, great
year.
They
can't hear y'all, but they saying what's up to y'all,
tell them this for me. Tell them this for me. Hey, KP, great year. Hey, Kwani, I was saying you were Saquon. Where were you? Anyway, no.
Oh, damn. He's missing. MIA. All right,
Nah, he'll
fellas.
just
yeah,
So
but
he'll just use me as the reason. He'll be like, man, fuck Corey, and then he'll ball out. Everybody wins. I don't play defense. I don't got to tackle his ass.
no, man. But yeah, like I said, thank you guys for having me, and
of
yeah,
course.
see y'all.
And everybody, thank you for joining us on The Other Side of the Ball, episode 163. Join us next week for 164, right before Christmas. Obviously, Christmas Eve, we will be taking the time off. New Year's
listen,
Eve, we'll be taking the time off.
Next week's the ATL episode, and Dub said he's going to go undercover at Magic City, so stay tuned.
Oh, that should be interesting. That's crazy. Anyway, thank you all for joining us. We will see you next week on The Other Side of the Ball.